Hello, hello, and welcome. I am going to try and get to the moon, to the mun this time. Last time we did this, which was a couple days ago, I failed miserably. I'm still not very good at this game, still struggling to get into orbit consistently. So let's go through this together. Let's see how far we can get. So I'm going to start off with a swivel engine, gives us a lot of thrust, lots of control. We can vector the rocket quite well. We're gonna top that with an 800 Methalox fuel tank, an FLT 800. Let's move back to a view kind of like that. So this is our first stage. We can get a little fancy with it. Let's add some aerodynamics. Maybe four of these stabilizers, and we'll probably want some boosters as well. So currently we're at 3,543 delta V. We need about 4,600 to get to the Mun. We know that because we can go to trip planner, one way, select the Mun. I'm gonna move my, God, I keep doing this. I'm gonna move my face out of the way. Actually, make me even smaller here. So 3,543 delta V. To get to the Mun, it's 5,120 total, but that's to get to the surface. We just want to orbit, so minus 600 off of 5,200, so roughly 4,600 to get to the Mun orbit, LEO, low LMO, low Mun orbit. Okay, so we're at 3,543. Let's add some boosters. We're also going to get some extra delta V from our second stage. So engines, before we do that, we'll need couplers. So a couple of radial decouplers. You can press, so X to go up, Control X to, Shift X to go down in symmetry. Snap those on. About there. You can always adjust. And then snap on a couple of these boosters. That's what our rocket's looking like. By the way, you will notice that this rocket looks very similar to another YouTuber's. I forget his name. I will have to get that for you because I don't want to take credit for his work. And a lot of this, really what my learning comes from, Charlie Pryor. So Charlie Pryor has a video about him getting to the Mun. If you want to see someone do it successfully, I recommend you watch that. If you want to learn and grow with me, stay tuned, keep around. So we have these hammer fuel boosters. They give us. So I wonder if you can calculate. Obviously, you can calculate the delta V impact that these boosters will have. I'm not sure how to do that from this stage. What I do see is that we're already at 4,600, so this delta V is good enough for us. It would get us to the Mun. Let's cap those off. And you know what? What I might do is I might just stick with a single stage rocket, so that let's start easy. 2 stages just adds complication. But we might also want to give ourselves, if we're going to go with a single stage and we're at 4,600, I want a little more headroom. So I'd say let's add if we had another 400 tank, what does that give us? 5,000. Okay, so let's cap this rocket off and shoot it. We want to do a couple things before we move to the launch pad. One, I always forget where the nose cones are. They're going to be in aerodynamics, obviously. So again, press X to increase symmetry, top that off with the nose cone. We will need a command module. I do not approve. Thanks. We will need a command module. I can show you how I know that. So let's say we cap the rocket off with the nose cone. Good aerodynamics. Launch, we have a delta V of almost 5,000, but if we go to engineering report, it will say that the vessel has no command part. Okay, well, how do we actually command this vehicle? We can add, I don't want to add any of those heavy pods. Like this is almost a ton. This is very close to a ton. So we can add a probe instead, which gives us remote control of the vehicle. So it's, before we add that on top, we want to make sure it's aerodynamic. This rocket is aerodynamic. And also we don't want to burn up this probe when we, in the first stage of launch, or LEOP. What's that stand for again? Low launch. It's like launch and early orbit phase. So in LEOP, our probe will definitely burn up if we don't put it inside of a fairing. So let's do that. Coupling, payloads, aerodynamics, ground, thermal. Where's the fairing? So it's under payloads. I'm going to use the cockle shell. Again, this is coming from Charlie Pryor's video where he teaches you how to attach a fairing. I have no decoupling state radial decouplers because I plan on sending this entire rocket to the entire main vehicle to the moon. The only thing we're going to be detaching are the boosters once they run out. So we have our fairing. We then throw our probe on. It comes with an antenna. If we really want, we can add add a battery and some solar panels. See, I'm just making my life harder, but you know what? I'm gonna do it for you. Okay, so fuel tanks, engines, structures, coupling, payload. I'm just trying to get myself used to these sections so that I can be quicker with it in the future. Obviously, batteries are going to be under electrical, so I'm just going to put a single battery. How tall are these solar panels? Let's also put two battery stacks so that we can connect the solar panels directly to those. Press X to get us to 4 times symmetry. Slap those on. That's horrendous. I assume those are, yeah, there's no way that's a thing. Try to put that up there. Would that fit with our friend up top? Yeah, that fits. Okay, awesome. So our solar panels are on. We can drop them a little bit. And I think that's good. Now we will finish up with our fairing. So pull this all the way up. Create a new section. Pull it in a little bit. All the way. And there is our rocket. It has 4,800 meters per second. Not great. Let's pull the fairing off. I'll probably stack another, let's just do 2 800s. See, I feel like I'm making decisions now that really impact the rocket's ability to get me where I want to go. Like I have the delta V necessary, but I based off of the construction, the number of fuel tanks, the size of your vehicle once you reach orbit, I wonder how that impact. I still don't understand how that will impact the total flight trajectory, the required flight trajectory to get me where I want to go. So Methalox engine, one more 800 up top here. This should give us like 5,300. Delta V, 5,100. Is that really worth the extra instability? Here, let's slide these down. So align to world, align to assembly anchor. Let's just pick this and go down a little bit. How does that look? Not so bad. All right, change the order of operations. So the boosters and the main engine are going to fire off at the same time. The boosters will not attach, and then at some point I will pop the fairing once we are past the soupy atmosphere that is Earth. That is Earth's atmosphere. There was supposed to be a better joke there. There wasn't. We'll save this. This is going to be called Mun Test 2 because I already have a Mun Test that failed miserably. We'll just save. Cool. 4,995. So I added a full 400. I added an 800 tank, so 400 over what I had, and I barely got extra Delta V. This is sketchy. Okay, whatever. Let's try this. Launch. If you have any suggestions for how to improve my gameplay, please leave them in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will continue to not only post Kerbal Space Kerbal Space Program videos, but I also do daily videos on where I read out Ars Technica space news, and that will evolve over time into more interesting articles. We'll get into NASA's state of the art, CubeSat state of the art. We can dive into the space. I plan on diving into the SpaceX ride sharing document. So there's a document that's publicly available that dictates how SpaceX expects their payload providers to integrate with the Falcon 9 rockets. So all of this and more, if you want to go through that with me, hit that like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let's get going. So I'm going to throttle down to 0 on the main engine. We're just going to let the boosters get us somewhere into low Earth orbit. So once I reach about 150 meters per second, I will throttle up the engine a little bit. So there you go, just so I can tilt us to allow in such a way that would allow us to perform a gravity-assisted turn. So usually what you want to do is get this to about 90. That's where you want your heading to be. Okay, so I'm going to let go of those boosters. And then I don't want to see this. Yeah, there it is. My rocket's too tall. So that. My rocket's really tall. I have very little control over it. So this is a total dud flight. We're going to return to the VAB. Well, let's try to launch one more time. Let's see if we can correct this problem by not over adjusting the by not over vectoring with our swivel engine. It's very possible that this is my control issue, my fault. You know, it's the control issue, and that a better operator would easily be able to get this rocket to where it wants to go. Okay, so again, throttle down to 0, go. Get up to 100, pull 100 to 150 meters per second. Start to throttle up. Start to bend us over a little bit. Okay, that's looking good. And then once these engines run out, I'm just gonna let go of control. Okay. So I'm letting go. I'm not touching it. And I'm also gonna apply a little more thrust. I'm losing velocity, losing speed, so I'm gonna apply a lot more thrust. No, I don't want to apply sticky keys. Thank you. So I have 4,000 delta V still. My apoapsis, so we want to get this to about 80,000. Going to continue to push the rocket slightly more eastwards. We're doing the heading looks good. We're sticking around 90. Our apoapsis is 30,000. Our ground altitude is reaching 20. Speed 500. So I think I can actually start to tailor us, parry us down a bit. I want to follow this green dot. Trying to preserve fuel, we'll need at least, I think, 2,000 to get us to the moon. So if we don't reach our, if we don't get a circularized orbit around Earth with 20,000 to spare, then I might as well, I'm probably just gonna call the mission there. Okay, looking good. We are now experiencing some gravity assist. So we're chasing our apoapsis, but not too fast. And I believe once we, once you push 30,000 meters, you can just go full throttle to really push your get your engine to really accelerate your vehicle. So there you go. We've reached almost 1,000 meters per second. Our apoapsis is looking really good. So I'm going to start to really tilt the engine. I don't know if the quick taps or longer, more fluid movements are better. I assume longer, more fluid movements are going to be more efficient, but I have no evidence for that. Okay, so we're slowing down a little too much. I am going to apply some speed. Apply some... See, I'm mixing terms here, which is not good, and it doesn't sound very intelligent. I'm going to apply more thrust. I'm going to increase thrust therefore increasing my velocity. This is good. We're slowly reaching our apoapsis. We're about 48 seconds. You want this between, I think it's 15 and 30, or 5 and 15. So I will tilt the nose down a little more. Our apoapsis is reaching 80. We have we have 2,700 delta V to go. It's good. So this is looking like a good flight. I don't want to jinx anything, but this is looking like we could reach orbit, a circular orbit around Earth. I can probably release the fairing. Okay, no. I'm down here. I'm not going to do anything crazy at the moment. I just want to have a successful orbiting flight. It's a good thing our speed is increasing still. We've almost met our apoapsis perfectly at 80,000. That's exactly what we want. So I think we are just going to throttle up now and hopefully push our periapsis up to 80, where we want it to give us that nice circularized orbit. Okay. So whenever I apply like high throttle, I'm always worried that if I try to change direction, if I try to tilt the craft, I will put it into a wobbling state that I can't get out of. So I'm trying to be very careful with that. I see I'm already down below 2,000 delta V, so I think the mission to the moon is a no-go. However, we can still probably salvage an orbit, which is more than good enough for me. Yeah, so we're going very fast. I like that. Okay, we're gonna meet our periapsis. Come on. Okay, so once we get to about close to 80, no, our apoapsis is really... No, why is our apoapsis... No. Okay. We've reached orbit. Yay! That's... For some of you, that's really dumb, and this is really easy, but for me, this doesn't happen all the time, so I'm very excited. I'm glad we reached orbit. We have... it took us about 3,800 delta V to do so we can make a lot of improvements, but for now, I'm very happy. And if we view that on the map, it'll be slightly elliptical because our apoapsis is almost twice as high as our periapsis. So here's our apoapsis, here's the periapsis. And you can see some of the other crafts I have. One that actually made it somewhere close to the orbit, so LMO, low Mun orbit, but the apoapsis was a little too low. The periapsis was a little too low, so it didn't count towards the mission goal. Okay, so to show you where we are, this is where the craft is, and so we're kind of in the right spot to potentially create a maneuver plan to reach the moon. Again, I don't think it'll be possible with our lack of fuel, but we can always try. So here I will... Let's see if we can get creative. So Here we are. Right there. We'd begin to interact with the Mun. This would give us, and that would take about 849 delta V, which we do have. So this might be possible. People, we may in fact be able to actually orbit the Mun. It doesn't. What is the Mun periapsis? Does it not give you that number? How do you figure out? Okay, so the periapsis would be 246 kilometers. Cool. We need a periapsis. I forget what the goal is. Also, I'm not gonna pop the. I'm forgetting the name now. I'm not gonna open the vehicle to expose the command module until I'm actually in the moon, or until I've achieved the primary mission, which is for us to orbit the Mun. So how do I see the goals? So there's the experiment, but how do I actually see? Can I pause this game? Pause. No, not research and development. Dang it. Mission control. Under bust, so I need to have an apoapsis less than 2,400 kilometers and a periapsis greater than 60. That's quite a large range. We'll be able to meet that. How do I go back to? I actually don't know where to go here. Tracking station. Mun test 2.5, focus. Can I, no control, there you go. All right. First of all, please move to prograde. We may want to use the RCS reaction control system to assist us as well. But for now, okay. So we will go to the map and adjust what we're doing here. So can we get a little, because this is flinging us quite a bit around the Mun. I'm sure we could slow ourselves down, but I think there's a better way. The heck just happened? See, yeah, sometimes this game is sketchy. Can I do this? There you go, we're getting a better curve. I think so there's a nice, this gives us a lot of interaction with the Mun. Should allow us to expend a lot less energy. Trying to stay within the Mun's orbit. Same deal. Keep pulling this back. Now I'm down to 769 delta V's, which we definitely have. It's just, I don't know if I see two. Oh, you know what, we get, so this gives us a double periapsis, which again is something I saw in the Charlie Pryor video, and the solution was to increase. So there, that gives us we're back to a single periapsis, and then this is us entering here is us leaving the Earth's sphere of influence, or Kerbal sphere of influence, I guess. That's good enough. Let's just give this a shot. So 782. Let's go. Oh, so I just ripped around the Earth. Okay. So we're gonna speed up a little bit, get to 5 seconds, and then go back down. We have to be very controlled here. So 5. And here we go. So I want to burn for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cut it off. That looks in no way like the atmosphere, like the... Ah! Okay, no, we're fine, we're fine. Come on, come on. Come to Dada. There it is. So, this is our desired trajectory. This is our actual trajectory. What? See, now it's just getting worse. I'm gonna cut that. We're gonna start another. I'm gonna try this again. Create a maneuver plan. Pull this back. Can I even do that? Like that? How could I? Can I? What's happening? I'm so confused. So here, there's no interaction with the mon. Oh, there you go. That's more like it. So this is where we want to be. Oh, I didn't even adjust. I didn't even adjust our position to the maneuver. That was dumb. I only have 287 Delta V left. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we tried. And Mike borked it. Oh, but required Delta V is only 134. Okay. Let's try it. 17 seconds. Speed that up to 5. Okay, so we're only going to burn for 1 second. How the hell are we going to do this? Okay. So I'm guessing yellow is our desired trajectory or desired maneuver. Blue is our actual. In either case, we do get our actual PE is going to be 66,000. So that could be good enough. So we have 218 left. So it's very possible we could make LMO. Let's try this. So I'm going to speed up the timeline to get us to the mun here. Yeah, so that's blue's our actual path. We then make contact with the mun sphere of influence. We now want to make a battle plan here. No, I don't want a time warp. No, I don't want a time warp. What is happening? But I don't understand. Okay, I probably just want to kill this maneuver plan, to be honest. So I'm just gonna kill it. And then we will create a maneuver plan here, and the idea is to pull this all the way back. And we're out of fuel. Okay, well, what if I pull this all the way back and then I change the angle? Fine. Have your fuel back. There you go. Can I not? We may be hooped here, ladies and gentlemen. No, let's go this way. No. Well, I feel like this is another failure. Oh, that's frustrating. Does this make sense? We have 218 Delta V. Can we seriously not apply that in some manner to slow ourselves down intelligently? Let's get ourselves back to 100. So even if I start, so anywhere along this trajectory, we're just going too fast to be able to slow ourselves down. Yeah, so maybe if I had another 400, 500 Delta V, I'd be able to do this, but that's the way she goes. give it another shot. So what will I do? I can let this, I can leave this vehicle up and running. That's fine. I don't know, it probably does impact load times and operation times of the game itself, but we seem to be doing all right. So we'll go to the vehicle assembly building. We are going to just grab the that vehicle we just launched from, we can just load it from the save menu and then relaunch as a new mission. What a bummer. All right. Load. Delta V, 5,169. Why are these? Oh, that's weird. These are hanging half off the rocket. Let's adjust that. Translation. Nope, not that. Let's get those back on the rocket here. How do those fins look? So those fins are also kind of weird, so let's fix those. Couple of issues with the vehicle. Don't mind me. I guess I can use the translate for these as well. This way, come this. Nope, that's not it. I think that's good. I've never actually rotated around. I think you have to let go, don't you? I don't know if I rotated around or if I like twisted them. Unclear. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna get rid of them. Oh, come on. You're trying to make me hate you. Crash. Aerodynamics. Stabilizer. XXX gets us to 4X. And then if I look at it head on here, that looks even. So we're gonna place those like that. That looks better, looks good on this side too. Okay, so now our boosters aren't hanging half off our rocket. Our stabilizers are better placed than before, more symmetrical. We can also, let's do a check. Center of thrust, that's exactly where we want it to be. Center of mass, that's pretty good. And center of thrust, or center of pressure, down by the first engine there. Okay, staging still's good. Where the heck? This game, what is happening? I don't know where our friends went. Oh, that's cool. It gives you more information. Okay, well let's, I don't know. Click these, try and translate them. Maybe that'll fix the bug. No? Still no? Okay, well, that's fine. Let's do this. Take this off. Press home to get us back into the default view. Put the engine back on. All right. 2,000, it's almost 3,000 delta V. Bring this back. Grab that. ×2. Slap that on the side here. That gives us 5,169. That's looking fine. I do want to translate it a little bit downwards. Is that still fine? Okay. We're going to fire the boosters. Then we're going to end the main engine in the same go. We are then going to disconnect the boosters and at some point break off the, I will get the name fairing. Thanks for sticking around. I'm a genius. All right, 5,000 delta V. Let's not screw this up. Folks, I need you to be on my side here. All right. We are going to throttle down the engine. We are going to press go. Skip the countdown. Just get me in the air. Yeah, I can feel a little more lag. And maybe an OBS. I'll just increase my video size. Put that here. Pew pew. Okay, 150, so I will throttle up the engine and tilt us a little bit. Maybe that was a little too much. Let's go to 10, 15. That's good. Whoa, the heading is quite bad. We want to be much closer to 90. That's good. It's getting better. Solid engine zone, we're almost done. So I'm going to start throttling. I'm going to stop tilting for a sec. Let go of those. Continue to very lightly tap on the D key. Try to turn our heading eastward as we continue to pick up velocity. We are losing velocity, so I'm going to increase thrust. Come on. Okay, we're just going to max thrust here. Just want to get us going, 300, 400 meters per second. Okay, I think I can start to pare that down. Our apoapsis is at 20, we're going for 80. Continue to tap a little bit on the D key to push us more eastwards. Tibbity-tabbity. Okay. Are you crossing your fingers? $3,800 delta V. Okay, I think I've tilted the rocket a little bit too far over. I'm going to reduce thrust. We're at a decent decent surface speed, 450. We will want to continue to push that up, 500, 600. But at 2,500 altitude, I'm feeling okay. Oh, are we feeling ballsy? Should I release the fairing once we get above 35? What do you think? So 40,000, apoapsis, again going 480. Continue to push this up. We are at 3,400 delta V. Okay, I'm going to continue to tilt the rockets. I think we need to keep in line with this, with the green crosshair. Again, I think my constant tapping of the D key is causing more problems than it is doing good. Speed's looking nice. Apoapsis is almost at 60,000. I think because my altitude is quite a bit off my apoapsis, like I have about a minute till I reach apoapsis, I need to tilt my nose down more. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep my thrust at, let's say, 30. Yeah, my apoapsis is going to eclipse 80 pretty soon, and my actual altitude is not nearly there. So I should have been more horizontal sooner. Okay. So my apoapsis gain has slowed quite a bit as I tilted my nose down, and my altitude continues to go up quite a bit. My delta V is at 2,800. Again, we need about 2,300 probably to have a good shot at orbiting the moon. Also, I am straight up going to just pause this game once I get into low Earth orbit and watch Charlie Pryor's video to figure out how I'm going to get myself into low Mun orbit. Okay, we are approaching apoapsis. This is looking really good. 2,600, so our delta V is starting to get into the range, which is making me nervous. Speed's great, 1,300. Okay, apoapsis, 76,000. Alright, so I'm going to tilt the nose down a little more and start to apply more thrust. So we want to be pretty much horizontal here, and then I'm just going to pick prograde. I don't know, I think prograde's a little too high. Don't you? Yeah, just like I still have 50 seconds to meet apoapsis. I think that's a bit much. So I really need my nose to point. Come on. And I'm almost at, my god, almost at 2,000 delta V. Well, the good thing is I've actually figured out roughly how to reach low Earth orbit. Okay, this is looking really good. My delta V is concerning, but everything else is looking great. I think we'll have no problem. I mean, that's the thing, is I should be applying more thrust to get my periapsis where I want it to be. Yeah, like I'm not gonna have enough delta V to get anywhere serious. What am I doing here? I should quit. I'm sure a lot of you are screaming that in your headsets. Alright. Gonna keep down a little more. Okay, looking good. So 1,500 delta V. Periapsis is rapidly getting out of the negatives. We've just hit 0 periapsis. If I keep this up, we're gonna get to 80,000 in no time. So yeah, this is interesting. Once we do finally get into like the periapsis of about 60, 75K, I notice that my apoapsis starts to go crazy and really starts to rise. So I don't know, if I look at the trajectory of where I was and where I am, perhaps it's just because I've already covered half of the Earth, and like I don't know where I launched, to be honest. I mean, if I'm going, I'll probably launch somewhere around here. So yeah, I probably have just reached the other side, and therefore by applying thrust, I'm just increasing my apoapsis. Lack of stellar exposure, no you. All right, we're gonna end up doing one more rotation of the Earth before we can have a shot at catching the Mun. But before we do that, I am going to watch Charlie Pryor's video. Do you want to join me? Let's do it. How do I do this without compromising my own security? Open Edge. And will this crash now that I'm running OBS? Kerbal Space and YouTube? Probably, but it's been nice knowing you. Okay. Ooh, I can do studio mode and preview the scene before cutting it. How fancy am I? So window capture, change that to Edge, not both. You heathen. Okay. Wait, I'm confused. So if I switch it to Edge right now, and I go to my stream, did it actually switch? It did. What the hell? I'm in studio mode, and I have not transitioned. You filthy dog, you. Okay. Well, anyways, I am going to switch to Edge. And then I am going to YouTube Charlie Pryor Mun. I don't think that's how you spell his name. I think it's called Take Me to the Mun. That's part 2. I don't want part 2. I want part 1. Like, how bad is your search engine that when I type in exactly what I want, you can't find it? And it's the name of the video. So part 3, part 2, where? Please tell me you. Oh, this isn't even him. Useless. Charlie Pryor. Yes, I want Charlie Puth. Charlie Puth is going to get me to the Mun. Okay. If I just Control F or Mun. No, whatever. I believe in YouTube search much more than I do Edge. Fly me to the Mun. There you go. Okay, so my problem. Video, I did call it
because I wanted to get through the orbit Kerbal stage of the game and move on to bigger and better things for the following videos. And so today we have bigger and better things, at least so to speak, like relative to what we just done. Maybe it won't. Oh, maybe it will let us charge to do that, but that's okay. 4K.
Yeah, he's being pro. He has nice antennas, and He's worried about charge. I'm just trying to get us to the right spot. We're here. This guy's serving up
go to the map
information
view
that's
for
here.
this, so I can keep an eye on the current orbit we have, and I'm gonna want to start dialing it back when we get close.
Okay, so how did he select his orbit?
Up here.
Let's have a look at his maneuver.
Transmission
This is also available in this tutorial.
Mission
Something
briefing.
I
Oh, cool.
Probably should have redone
We did some things.
a third time.
Environmental samples. We want
Okay, there you go.
completely separate orbits. So that's weird. We're not gonna want to do that, of course. We're not playing that game. So let's pull this back and make sure we're only getting one. We don't need any more than that. And right about here should be good. That's getting us really close to the moon. This is pretty much right where we want to be. It's in range anyway of where we want to be. So this is the maneuver.
Interesting. So the approach is
here.
coming in from the backside of the moon.
So we have our heading.
So let's copy that. How much? And he has about 2,000
ourselves.
delta V left. We're not there, but I don't believe he needed all of that anyways. And actually, let's be smart about this before we go. Let's see how much delta V he actually had when he was at the moon. So he only used about 1,200 delta V to get into orbit. So that's great news for us. Let's go back to here. I will take you back to Kerbal Space. Here we go. Let's make sure that that's applied. It is. Awesome. All right, let's do this. So I'm going to set a focus. So I set a target on the moon, so we can see where we would intercept the moon. At least that's what I believe this line is, and we can see my old vehicle back there. And let's. So this is not super easy. I mean, what's happening here? Oh, I haven't started. That's why. So we're going to create a maneuver plan there, and we are going to increase that all the way. Very nice. Bring this around here. So we're looking at about 830 something. So here we're approaching from the side. We want to approach from the back, so we can move this over a little bit. We can also parry this back. So there you go. This is that fancy double swing that he was talking about. Yeah, where you have, well, maybe that's only one periapsis. I think that looks all right. Nope, there are two. Nope, there's one. Okay, so we'll end up meeting with the Mun here. Let's give that a shot. The required delta V 824, and that should we should have enough to hold ourselves in the LMO orbit. Around here. Hello. All right, we're going to warp to maneuver. So it's going to rip around the planet, and now 42 seconds. Let's speed that up. We will take that to 5 seconds, and then I will figure out, by practice, how to actually accelerate properly. So I'm going to press X once we get to 1. Here we go. So Z gets us to full thrust. Oh my god, I didn't reorient. Don't be dumb, kids. Don't do crack. Don't do crack. Clearly, I'm on something, because nobody could be that stupid as to have applied full throttle without having oriented to the maneuver beforehand. Okay, so I feel like we'll just throw out this plan. I still have 1,000 delta V left. Maybe we could salvage something. This is the second time I've done this. Again, I'm sure everyone's screaming in their headphones, please God, dear Lord, don't do it. But I did. And I wish I could tell you I'll be a better person next time, but I won't. Alright, create a maneuver. And speed this up. I don't even know if I have to create another maneuver, but let's... Okay, so there is an approach from the backside. 806 delta V, still possible. So we would launch out here, loop around. That looks funky to me. I think this would throw us. I don't know if there's a better... So what if we just do this? I think in any case it would throw us. I don't think there's an option. Like, there you go. So 815, I think that's the best we can do. So we're going to come in behind the Mun here, and then we're just going to have to slow ourselves down with whatever we have left, which would be about 200 delta V. All right. I'm going to apply a little bit of thrust, get the vehicle in the correct orientation. And once it is in that orientation, we are going to... Here, I'll just speed this up. What did I do? All right, I'm angry. I'm going to call the stream there. We're going to try this again tomorrow or the next day, whenever my blood has cooled off. Yeah, anyways, thanks for sticking around, and we'll chat later. Bye-bye.